Hey guys, car thoughts for you in a full episode. Well, short little episode. I'm Isaac with Fun Football Podcast, and I am very excited for the draft. It is tomorrow. I'm recording this on Wednesday, but I'm just going to talk Packers. I will do a first draft little preview tomorrow. Please go subscribe to my channel. I am very close to 300. I'm 5 away. I want to hit it by tomorrow. It's been a goal for a while. I will hit 40,000 YouTube views. That's just amazing. But help me hit my goal of 300 subscribers. And in this short video, I'm just going to talk Packers thoughts for the first 3 rounds. I've already done this ad nauseum, but guys, I really like Cooper DeJean. If the Packers take him, I'm not going to fault them. I like him. He's a good player. He's a very good player. He might not actually be our perfect need, but I do worry with hybrid players a little bit, and I don't know where he fits as a cornerback or a safety. I think he'd be a contributor on our defense. I could see him fitting in. I actually could see it working great. But my favorite player that I think is going to be available in the first, I think there's a solid chance Jackson Powers-Johnson's there. And if we take one lineman, he'd be the one I want. As much as we need a tackle, I think if you're going to go offensive line, you take this guy and he's just going to start for you. He's probably the best interior lineman in this draft. He's one of the first prospects that's supposed to go, but he's probably the best. I've watched tape on all of them. That's just my opinion. I think he's the best interior lineman. I would take him at 25, and I wouldn't look back if you're going offensive line. But my favorite prospect that I think we should hit is Kool-Aid McKinstry. I think he's a perfect spot at corner, and this helps if Stokes misses time, which he has the last 2 years, or Alexander. If we trade him, like Rick was saying from Frozen Tundra, if we trade him, which was still a possibility. I don't think they're going to do it, but if they traded him, they could go get a Kool-Aid, and they could probably flip him for a first-round pick and then get a DeShaun as well, which I think would be even better for our defense. But Alexander's great when he's healthy. We still need another corner opposite him. I liked Valentine, but this also lets Valentine continue to grow as a player. And if Stokes is going to be injury-prone, then we've got another. And if he's projected as where I think Kool-Aid McKinstry could be, running a 4.47 on a broken foot, just looked instinctive. I saw a playmaker. I saw that in DeJean as well, but he gave me shades of Charles Woodson. I just saw this guy tackling that corner, which is something I want. I saw a playmaker. He's not the best cornerback prospect in this draft, but we're not going to move up to 10 or like 8 where it's going to take to get a corner. Because I think a corner is going to go in the top 12 at the lowest spot. If we're not going to trade up to get one of those guys, a Kenyon Mitchell, a Terrion Arnold. I don't know if Nate Wiggins is going to fall. Kool-Aid's going to be there for us, and that's the guy I want the Packers take in the first. But if we don't give him on my hierarchy, I either want a Jackson Powers-Johnson or a Cooper DeJean, or if we get lucky and a Chop Robinson is available, love it. Or Jared Verse, which I don't expect, or Latu, an edge rusher would really beef up this defense. So my wish list, guys, okay? I got players, but positions. Our first, if we don't trade, I'm hoping we don't trade down out of the first. I'm actually hoping we trade up into a couple of our thirds to get up into the second, to get a second round pick. I'm hoping Goody does it. But my wish list is that we get a running back in the first 4 rounds, but I'm hoping more like 4th round on offense. We've looked at some receiver prospects, and if an Xavier Legette is available at 58, oh man, that would be sweet. But we don't need it. I don't see receiver, tight end, or quarterback as a need. I see backup running back getting depth behind Jacobs as a need. So go do that. That's what I want. I don't trust AJ Dillon. I've heard good things about Wilson. He showed a couple flashes last year, but we need another running back behind Jacobs. I don't want him to completely wear out. He's had a lot of carries. I want to keep him fresh, and I think it's only going to help Jordan Love. So that is the outside of offensive line, and we could use a tackle and a guard. We did just sign a tackle, so we need at least 2 linemen in this draft. So I want to see 2 linemen through the whole draft and 1 running back on offense. That's my wish list. On defense, I want an edge. I want an edge in the first 3 rounds. Just hit it, because it's just going to improve our defense. That is one area we're lacking. But if we don't hit an edge, it's an absolute imperative to me that we either get an edge or a defensive tackle in the first 3 rounds. We absolutely have to get a defensive lineman. So I want 1 offensive lineman it doesn't have to be in the first 3 rounds, but we got to get 2 offensive linemen. But in the first 3 rounds, we need a premier edge, either pass rushing talent or a run stuffer. So that's got to happen. The other things we got to do is we got to hit a secondary. We've got 5 picks, so let's use 1 of those on offensive line. Let's use 1 on defensive line. Let's go and get Edgerrin Cooper or an inside linebacker, so you can put Quay off ball where I think he'll succeed. So a linebacker, and I want a corner and safety. Those are my 5 guys on my wish list. I'll give you player over 5 positions, and I'll give you players. I want Cooper DeJean at safety, or Tyler Newman, or Javon Bullard. I think Cameron Kinchins would be all right too. Any one of those safeties. Corner, because I saw DeJean as more of a safety. Corner, man, TJ Tampa would be sweet in the second. If or Rakestraw Jr. I like him a lot. But if we do get a Kool-Aid, we're set. Just get some depth. There's some corners later on. Saint Strill's pretty solid too. There's a lot of good corners in the first 3 rounds. I think we could get one. It doesn't have to be round 1. So there's some corners. Linebacker, I see a few. And then it's a little bit of a drop. Junior Colson would be like the 4th on my list. And then I really like Peyton Wilson and Cedric Gray, but I want Adrian Cooper. He's my number 1 linebacker I want. Defensive tackle, oh, man. I really like Chris Jenkins from Michigan. I think he'd be sweet. But if in the first, if Byron Murphy or Johnny Newton are available, that'd be sick. I'd be happy. Devondre Sweat scares me with his low RAS and all these off-field issues. But if we took a flyer on him in the 3rd, that wouldn't be too terrible. Rook Odoholo wouldn't be bad. There's some other defensive tackles, but I think we can get that. Edge rusher, man, if we don't get Chop, I like the Robinson boys. If we don't get Chop, let's get Darius. That's what I want. So those are my guys. And then at running back, I still like Braylon Allen, man. I really do. I think he'd be sweet. Go get a Braylon Allen. But if you don't, man, Jonathan Brooks in the second, if he's there in the 3rd, would be sweet. Blake Corum would be okay. I'm not as huge of a fan. I'd rather go get a Jalen Wright or a Marshawn Lloyd. Or, I mean, if Trey Benson fell, but I don't expect it. So those are my running backs I like. And tackle, if Mims is there, or I don't know, I just don't want him to take a tackle in the 1st. So just wait on it. Get a Foster, get a Rosengarten later on. Guard, I mean, honestly, at center or guard, if Van Pran, if we don't go Jackson Powers, if he's even there at 25, if we get one later, if we can get either the lineman from Michigan would be sweet, but Van Pran would be good. There's a lot of guards later on. Lumiere late is good. There's a lot of guys. I think that we can land on a lineman interior, a couple late that might hit for us. We tend to be good at that. So I don't see offensive line as a need immediately. I see we can get depth later on and be okay. But, if we get an excellent lineman in the 1st and it just helps our offense, I'm not going to be upset about it. So I'm just kind of hoping we steer away from offensive line in the 1st and hit D, because we've got a lot of holes. So I don't know what y'all think of my wish list. This is what I'm hoping the Packers do over the next few days. I'll have a short recap video and probably a little short episode this weekend, maybe. But I will be back next week I've got some cool stuff. I got the Man Cave coming on Tuesday, joining me and Med and Jason. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then I've got a show with Trailer Park Country the week after the draft. So I think it's like May 2nd next week on Thursday night. It's going to be awesome. So, and then I'm going to be on hiatus. I'll have some pre-records for y'all. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Please go subscribe. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think of my Packers wish list. And I will see y'all again very soon.